Actually, it's almost cute. I can list you the different things of metal that went missing over the years, as you know. Well, I mean, I was a miner of metals, and basically had a lot of metal, Carnegie basically style. So I know about a lot of the things that went missing over the years that were rather annoying. Like the first city of metal signs, 3 years running, signs disappeared. Also, there was a section of track where they pulled up the studs. You know, the studs that keep the track on. There, it's very nice of them to leave the metal track in place, but they pulled out every nail for about 200 feet or so. Anyway, the only problem was it caused a derailment, of course, and I think someone actually ended up dying. And I sent out word and asked the locals not to do that, or at least to take the track too. Which, believe it or not, sometime later on, they took the track as well. I was like, please, if anything, so the engineer would know that there's no rail in front of them, because it was around a corner or something, or some point where they took all this metal ties out, and they needed the metal for something else. Metal was valuable back then still, so they stole the metal from the tie. They took the ties, thinking that it was okay to leave the rail in place. Anyway, and so anyway, the train derailed, and it might have been almost like a part of my other things. Anyway, though, it wasn't a big deal. I was like, whatever. I really don't know if anyone actually died, because it was just a minor issue, and I think it actually went like 3 or 4 months before they even noticed. But sometime later on another section of track, because metal was so valuable back in the old days, and you could just take it and you could literally just cut it up into sections. So back in the old days, when metal was just first getting circulated around, because like I said, back in the old days, metal was one of those things that nobody saw, but everyone kind of heard about. You know, this hard stuff that's blah, blah, blah. I used to hear the stories about what they said about the metal, because I was like, what did they say? I want to know. What did they say about my new creation, metal? And so they told me, but some stuff of that. Anyway, though, but so things that went missing, like 100 feet of track. There were railroad ties missing to the point where I actually had to hire people to go and check the tracks to make sure. You know, I didn't really, to me, it really didn't matter. You know, it was just like, it was almost like, well, if you want metal, maybe we should just give out metal or something like that, because, it's less damaging than when a train gets derailed or something, because that's a mess. So anyway, it's one of those things that happened to me a long, long time ago where metal was going missing, and in the end, I think what I did was I sent out word or something and asked the locals not to be doing that, or to at least tell the trains that there was a big section of track missing. Maybe they should go and take a look at that. Which they did. Anyway, it was handled later on, and the locals eventually I think they actually did pay me back, or pay back the train rail company in some other way. They actually started mining on their own or something. In the end, I think they were making axes. I don't know. I think they said they're just making axes with them or something like that. It was something, this was in British rule before the America today. This would have been back way long ago. And it was something that just came to my attention. I was like, yeah, that's funny. Huh. Well, oh well, just replace the track. Yeah, because you know who I am. So I mean, it's like, no big, like realistically, no big deal. I mean, 7 countries around the world. It's like, well, it's one section of track. So what? Like I always said, it's like we struggled to get where we are too. So I mean, oh well, it's a smaller nation. Anyway, in the end, like I say, I was surprised. The villagers, I needed something else done. I forget what it was, but there was this hard task that I needed done, and the villagers that had, they actually came back and they were actually like, oh yeah, we'll help. And I was like, oh, cool, awesome, let's go. So my kindness actually, like I said, a lot of the things that the kind things are the things I was just like, whatever. Actually turned out to be quite a bonus that actually helped me out a lot later on, because there was a couple of things that I needed that I was surprised. A lot of people came in and helped me out with some other stuff that was really, really, really important. So anyway, yeah. So 200 feet of railroad ties went missing, 200 feet, 100 feet of track, 200 feet of track. It happened a lot, actually. And I think I said, could you at least tell the locals to have the decency to tell the engineers or tell the nearest telegraph booth that there's a section of track missing and maybe somebody should go take a look at it? It was funny. I was like, please, could you at least have them do that? So they did, and trains didn't get derailed, and it was okay. So anyway, long ago past 1800s, 1700s. That was my life back then, and something I went through. So anyway, and in the end, it was just kind of like one of those funny things, that's just like, I love you too. Don't worry about it. So anyway, I didn't consider it a problem.